Hey guys, good morning. It is almost 11 a.m. on Monday, August 25th, and we are doing another reading challenge. So I say that it's almost 11 because we are at 11 going to start a 24-hour period of how much can I read of my August TBR. So the August TBR in question is as follows. We've got Howl, a werewolf romance, and I will talk more about each book when I actually start reading them or when I talk about them later on in either this vlog or whenever I actually get to all of them. The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. At the Edge with You by Tony Aleo. Hopefully I'm saying that name right. Girl Abroad by Elle Kennedy. And One Shot by AC Wonderland, which I did start this in my last reading vlog along with some of the other books. And I didn't give it the highest praises, but I am going to try to finish it just so I can actually give it a full rounded review. So that's all the August TBR, and I'm trying my hardest since, like I said, it's literally the 25th. So we've got what? I can never remember what months have 30 or 31. So we've got less than a week is what I'll say to finish all of these books. So before we get started, the rules for this challenge. So we are going to go from 11 a.m. today to 11 a.m. tomorrow, and that will be the time frame that we're using. So just a 24-hour period. The twist on this is that I am going to not be allowed to go on social media whatsoever. So TikTok, Instagram, any of that, nada. Like, we are going to spend the next 24 hours reading as much as possible, and we are not going to be doom scrolling. No siree. So with that being said, let's get started. Okay, so let's just dive in a little bit more deeply into the TBR. So One Shot, I read 100 pages of this in my last reading vlog and I was not a fan. Then we have Girl Abroad, which is Elle Kennedy. It's a romance, love triangle type of thing, her and two guys. So it sounds really fun. I didn't get to read 100 pages of this on the day that I did that challenge. I just didn't get to it. So I am excited to hopefully get that one started in this reading vlog. Then there's At the Edge with You. I also was not able to get to this one in the last reading vlog, so I'm hoping to at least get somewhat into this one as well within the next 24 hours. Hockey romance, I believe. Then we have The Conditions of Will, which I am actually over halfway through it at this point. I read 100 pages of it in a different vlog, and then I've just kind of been listening to it on audiobook while I've done chores around the house and things like that. I am loving this one so far, but we'll talk more about it when we actually get into the reading of this one portion. But I'm hoping to actually get to physically read it today more than listening to it. But I'm loving this one so far. So this one we will definitely get to today and probably finish. And we have Howl, which I am definitely over halfway for this one as well. So not that much left to read of it. And if you saw the last reading vlog, I absolutely love this one. It's a very comfort Gilmore Girls meets Halloween Town meets Twilight type of thing. It gives you a warm hug, this whole book. I've just been loving this one as well. So we're starting off really strong with this and The Conditions of Will because I think both are going to be 5 stars. The jury is still out because I haven't finished them, but I do think they're going to be really good. So I've got my coffee here this morning, my latte, pistachio latte. And I'm just gonna sit and read Howl because this is definitely one that I love reading. Like when I first wake up in the morning, I've been up for a while and I have read a little bit this morning, but when I first wake up and have my coffee, this book is just perfect for this. It's all the vibes. It's all the cozy, comfy vibes. So I can't wait to start this. Okay. So getting into this book, just the kind of setup for this is we have Regan, our main female character, and Jamie, our male main character. And they start off as friends. They met in high school. So they've been friends for quite a while. They're in their 30s now. And he's a werewolf, but he doesn't tell Regan that. So Regan doesn't know, but they've been friends forever. Now they live close to each other. And in the beginning of this book, they're just friends that live close to each other. They all live in this tiny town where paranormal creatures exist, and in the government they took all the creatures from the cities and put them into small towns. So this is just the one small town outside of Nashville, Tennessee is where all the paranormal things live. Banshees, ghosts, werewolves, vampires, all that kind of stuff. And the next one in this series is a vampire enemies to lovers romance. So cutesy. Can't wait to read that one. So Regan has been dating this guy for a couple weeks and decides she needs to break up with him because he's all the red flags. And Jamie goes with her to break up with him because he wants to protect her. He's very protective of her. And basically from there, just things start unraveling and will she discover his secret? And will they turn from friends to lovers? I mean, obviously it's a romance, so I would hope so. But that's kind of the setup for the story. And it's just so cozy. She works at a bookshop. He works at a coffee shop. I'm loving this book so much, but we're going to keep reading and I'll update you guys throughout the day. Okay, had to pop in here real quick. Just because I thought this part was funny. Regan does at some point in the book decide to move in with Jamie. As friends, as lovers, I won't tell you, but they do end up moving in together. It's kind of a thing that since the beginning of the book, he's been asking her to, even when at first they were just friends. So she finally does move in with him. And she's been putting together a bed frame for the guest room. And he is watching football on the TV downstairs. Okay, I just wanted to set it up for you. And he's like describing her outfit because he smells her arousal. He smells her arousal. And she's coming down the stairs and he's describing her outfit. And then he says, it matches her eyes, but that's not what I'm focused on. Right now, my entire set of predatory, he's a vampire, werewolf. I don't know why I said vampire, werewolf. I am more partial to vampires, so maybe that's why I said that. But werewolves are cool too. Set of predatory senses is lasered in on the very clear scent of arousal that's wafting from her. What the hell has she been doing up there? Then I put it together. She's been listening to an audiobook while organizing her room, and something tells me she's at a particularly spicy part in the story. I just thought that was funny. Like, I just thought that was a cute and funny thing to add in there. I'm sure some spicy stuff is about to happen in our book, but yeah, okay. I'll update you guys later. Just wanted to update you guys that the last sentence on this chapter, it's not the last chapter. Don't tell me that book you're listening to is what's got you smelling so sweet. End of chapter. I'm like, oh my gosh. Hi, Mom. But yeah, okay. So yeah, the spice, it's okay so far. It's not my favorite though. Not my favorite. I don't want to hype the story up too much just because like, it's not like it's that unique or you know what I mean? Like that's not what has me enjoying it. It's really just the fact that it's a very comfort read. Like that's really all I can say about it. Is just but it's so enjoyable. Like I'm so happy I bought this and like I'm so happy that this book is in my life. Like it's not the best book I've ever read, but it's really, really good. Hey guys, okay. So I'm literally so close to being done with this book, but they're finally having intercourse, full intercourse. And I just wanted to give you guys a little taste. I can't even say it without like, that's it. Good girl. Anytime they say good girl, I'm like, I'm in. I'm into it. I'm in. I kind of like that it's like leading up. Like there's only a couple pages left and they've just now done it. But it's a big thing in the werewolf thing. I don't know. It's hard to explain without just like reading it, but oh, and I did make a smoothie for breakfast. If you saw my last reading vlog, I'm obsessed with smoothies lately. I've had one for breakfast for like the past 3 months, I feel like. Like it's just so easy and delicious. Love it. But anyways, yeah, the spice is getting spicy. And whenever the guy says good girl, I'm into it. I'll just say that. I'm into it. I'm into it. Okay. But yeah, I'm not going to give anything too much away, but it is definitely spiced up in here. Aw, this book is so cute. Okay, we're literally at the epilogue, so let's see how this book ends. Okay, so I finished the book, but oh my gosh, this is so cute. There's a holiday bonus chapter and that picture is adorable. That's so cute. Okay, so I'm gonna read the holiday bonus chapter now. Cute. Usually with romance books, if there is like a bonus holiday chapter or a bonus anything, I have found that unless it's an Elle Kennedy off-campus series book, specifically for some reason, I just don't care. Like there's so many times in a romance book where I just get so bored by the time they're all together and everything is good that I don't really care after that. But I think it's a real testament to a book and a writer's, the way they write the characters. If I do just care, even if nothing crazy is happening and they're just like chilling on Christmas, like, and I care about it, that means that they really wrote the characters well, in my opinion. So oh my gosh. So I'm finished with it. There is though a playlist at the end, and Guilty as Sin by Taylor Swift is the second song, and I love, love, love that song. What if he's written mine on my upper violin, my mind, without ever touching his skin? How can I be guilty as sin? Yeah. Anyways, love that song. Yellow by Coldplay. That's a throwback. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of throwbacks. Oh, Juno by Sabrina Carpenter. I can see that. I could totally see that. Oh my gosh, this is a great playlist, honestly. Love that. I don't think this was a 5-star book because comparing it to Better Than the Movies, which was the only other book on my August TBR that I did end up reading before this vlog. I read it in my last vlog. That one was 5 stars, but I almost want to put it at 6 stars because it was so overwhelmingly great. And this one wasn't quite as good, but it also was really, really good and comforting. So I want to give this one a 4 stars because I really enjoyed it and I would recommend it to anyone that loves a good, comforting, spooky season read. Romance, like I would definitely recommend, and I really love this book. I'm glad that it entered my life, but I don't quite think it was 5 stars for me just because of reading the Better Than the Movies. Like that one was so good and this one was so good too, but in comparison fell a little short. So I'm gonna give this one 4 stars. Loved it though. Absolutely loved it. We started at 11 a.m. I finished the first book around 1 p.m. and now we are going to move on to The Conditions of Will, and I'm actually going to just physically read it. I've been listening to the audiobook pretty much for almost the entire book. So now I'm just excited to sit down with it and read it. But real quick, just to kind of give you guys a little setup of what it's about. So we're following Georgia. She comes from a family in the South and South Carolina, whatever. She grew up with very everybody was very homophobic and also would blame women for things that, are women and men doing them, but they would always blame women. So growing up in that kind of atmosphere, so very conservative, very, very homophobic and sexist, I guess. Yeah, growing up in that kind of environment with parents that also were those things. She had a gay brother and she also had an older brother. She had 2 older brothers. One of them was gay, one of them wasn't. And the one that wasn't gay was treated better than the one that was gay because the one that was gay was treated awfully. Oliver is his name. Her sister Marianne is absolutely awful. She's terrible. I think she is an older sister, yes. She's her older sister. So the one we're following is Georgia, is the youngest. She was kind of buddy with Oliver and she was always kind of his rock of why are you guys being so homophobic? Chill out. That kind of thing, always protecting him, taking one for the team for him anytime that he was gonna get in trouble. And her older siblings were very much wanted to be in the parents' best view and stuff like that, which they were treated really well by their parents, but the younger 2 were not. So that's the family dynamic. And in this book, it starts off with her father passing away and she hasn't seen her family in forever. And now she has to go back, as well as all the other kids and their mother, who now has lost her husband, but she still lives there, obviously. But they all have to go back now to South Carolina and deal with the will and the funeral and everything like that. And it's called The Conditions of Will because you don't even get to the will reading until halfway or a little over halfway through it. And it's a big deal. There's a big secret that happens. So far this is a lot of drama dealing with childhood trauma and just kind of the inner workings of a really toxic family, but also dealing with the interesting aspects of how when you know someone as a sibling when you're a child versus when they grow up and they can change and possibly become a better person. And there is a part in here that I'm on right now where they're all the siblings except for Marianne, who can something that is not tasty because she is awful. She has no redemption arc, I hope, because from what I've read about her so far, absolutely not. We do not even, we don't mention her. She who shall not be named. That's Marianne for us. She's not on this trip, but all the siblings kind of get together after the will is read because of something that is brought to light. And all the siblings except for Marianne, luckily. And then also Oliver, who is the gay son, he has a sponsor because he grew up to be an alcoholic. So he has a sponsor and his sponsor is with him. And so he's also kind of in the mix and he's also in there for other reasons. He might be a part of the love story, the romance that happens. All of them are on a road trip together. And it's really nice to kind of see a family dynamic of they haven't seen each other for forever and they all hold kind of contempt and resentment towards each other, but it's nice to kind of have them come together and kind of watch the forgiveness happen. I don't know, and the like learning who they are now as adults together. I'm really enjoying it. It's really heartfelt. It feels very realistic too. Like there's romance, there's drama, there's heart, and I'm just really, really enjoying this so far. So I can't wait to keep reading. Let's go. Okay, sorry, trying to get myself together. I'm on chapter 56 of The Conditions of Will, so I'm 398 pages in, and it's so good. It's so different from, I'm literally gonna cry. It's so different from Hal because there's so much heart. Not that there wasn't heart in Hal. They're just very different genres, honestly. I'm not even gonna compare them. That was dumb. I'm not even gonna compare them. They're two completely different stories. This one is just so like, I don't know, it's so realistic with the problems. Just when you put yourself in their place, certain people in the book, it's just really sad that some people have to go through this in the world, and it's just sad. It's making me sad, but it's also heartwarming, and it's just like, yeah, putting yourself in their shoes of just like, I'm literally gonna continue crying. I just got myself together. But no, it's just when they find out the thing that they find out after having the will read to everyone, and then they go on this like sibling adventure and they figure out the secret. It's just, they find out obviously that their dad wasn't exactly who they thought he was, and that he had secrets. And it's really sad because the secrets that he had kind of were the reason that he couldn't be like a father figure that he should have been to them all, and especially the girl that we were reading about. And it's just sad to think that like in a different world he could have been so much more, and like they wouldn't have had to go through what they all went through. I'm literally crying. I don't know, it's just so sad, like. And I'm loving it though. Like, it's so heartwarming, and it's so just like, it rips your heart out. It's not heartwarming at this point. There are some points where it's heartwarming, but right now it's ripping my heart out. But I'm curious how it's going to end because I'm so close to finishing it. And I'm like, I don't know how this is going to wrap up. But there's something about the way that Jessa Hastings writes that's like, it feels like it's a movie in your head. Like, there's some books where it's like, it kind of feels like that, but it also just, it definitely feels like I'm reading this. But this one just, I can see the movie. Like, I feel like a director. I'm like, I can see the movie in my head. I know who would play who. And you know what? Okay, I'm gonna rant a minute about Oliver. So Oliver is in this book. He's the gay brother, and he is not acting right. I'm trying to understand where he's coming from. If you read the book, you know, and if you haven't read the book, but when you do read the book, then you'll know what I'm talking about. But like the way he acts towards the end of the book when he finds out something about his sister, he doesn't have the right, I don't feel like, to feel the way that he does, because he keeps thinking that his sister is taking things from him that were never his to take in the first place, in my opinion. Of like, I think the way that everyone else around him treated him maybe made him feel that way, but the reality is that like the things that he thinks she's taking from him, they could never have been his, if that makes sense. You know, you'll know if you know. And so it just really like irks me that he would act this way to her after knowing what she's been through. It's not like she's lived in freaking rainbows and butterflies her whole life. Like, she's also been through a lot, and the way that he just doesn't even seem to care, doesn't even seem to like register that. All he can see is his own like selfishness and the way that he feels really rubs me the wrong way, and I'm just so over him. And I'm like, he needs to really take a step back and realize like the truth and reality of the matter. I don't know. He's pissing me off. But I'm thinking that towards the end, it's all going to come together and he's going to realize that he was in the wrong. But it's like, even though he's pissing me off with the way he's acting, I feel like it is realistic. Like, there's so many times where as humans, we feel ways that like we feel entitled to feel. Because I've done it. Everyone does it. Like, we feel entitled to feel a certain way. There was a huge butterfly that just went by my window. Anyways, we feel entitled to feelings that maybe we shouldn't feel entitled to them. Like, where we think we've been wronged in a situation where it's like you weren't really wronged, things just played out and they weren't how you wanted them to be. Does that make sense? I don't know. So it's very realistic and very human the way that she writes, but also Oliver, get your act together. And also Marianne, jump off a cliff. So that's how I feel. It's 2:40 and I usually eat lunch around 3, so I think I'm going to make lunch now. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna eat lunch and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna finish this book. I know I'm gonna cry. I freaking already know it. Hey guys, okay, so I just had lunch. I had avocado toast. I probably showed you guys in the B-roll. And I'm going to continue reading The Conditions of Will. I'm so excited. I think I've literally got like less than 50 pages left. So I'm so excited to see what happens. It's so good so far. And I have a Diet Coke with lime in my cute little cup. So we are just gonna sip on this and hopefully finish up The Conditions of Will. I'm so excited to get another book checked off the TBR. I finished it. Enough tears. The book is over. But it doesn't, and it's like happy tears mixed with sad tears mixed with, because like the last 100 pages is a roller coaster, or last 50 pages, maybe 20 even, I don't know, but it is a roller coaster where like you're sad and then you're angry and then at the end, you know, it all wraps together. And I'm just like, I just felt for these characters. Her writing just like makes you feel like you're in it, you know? Like you know them and you can really relate. And even though like not all the characters are likable, you know, none of them are perfect, they feel so real because of that. And yeah. Okay, I'm gonna give it a 4.5 because it was so well done. This was an emotional roller coaster, but I did love every minute of it. I'm kind of sad that I can never read this for the first time again. But the funny thing is I kind of feel that way about literally all the books that I've read on this TBR so far, how better than the movies and this. I'm sad that I can never read any of these again for the first time, but I'm so happy they came into my life. So, okay, another book checked off the August TBR. So now I just need to decide which book I want to start next. Do I want to do a hockey romance, which is probably going to be very, very spicy, or do I want to do Girl Abroad, which is probably also going to be pretty spicy, but maybe not as spicy? I don't know. Elle Kennedy can be anywhere from like super spicy to like spicy, but that's not the focus. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with Girl Abroad as the next one that I want to start, just because this one has been on my TBR like TBR in general, not monthly, but like just in general. This one has been on that there for a while, and Elle Kennedy is one of my favorite authors of romance. And I'm kind of craving that now. I just want another better than the movies. We are going to start Girl Abroad. It is 5 p.m. So I need to feed the dogs because they get fed at 5. So I do need to do that. Oh, and that's the other nice thing is that this is available on audiobook on Spotify, in audiobook form on Spotify. So I will probably just throw headphones on for a bit just while I like feed the dogs, maybe go for a walk. I don't know. I'll do some things while I listen to this, and then I can also just pick it right back up and start reading it. I'm still this is one of those books where you're going to be thinking about it. Like I'm just like, you know, like I'm just like, oh my gosh, what a whirlwind. Good morning, you guys. So it is now 11 a.m. So I figured I would give you guys the wrap up of what we did in this last 24 hours. I am so tired. I stayed up late last night watching, not even reading, watching 27 Dresses with my husband. One of my favorite movies. I freaking love that movie. I did absolutely no reading this morning. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So Girl Abroad, we did get started on this book last night and I did not update you guys on it. I'm actually liking it so far. I think I was confused to what this book was gonna be about. We're following a girl, Abby, who's named after Abbey Road, the Beatles, all that jazz. She's named after that because her dad does something. It's like in Friends when everyone's like, what does Chandler do again? That's how I feel about her dad in this book. Every time I'm told what he does, I forget it instantly. I'm like, wait, what does he do? He does something in music, but like I can't think of what he actually does. So anyways, he does something in music and it has something to do with the Beatles. I don't know. She lives in Nashville, Tennessee. That I do remember because I was like, oh my God, I live outside of Nashville. Hilarious. Love that. So she lives in Nashville, Tennessee, but she she is going to college in London. Her dad has so many stories from like, I think he was in a band. And so he has so many stories from like his wild days. She has no stories of her own because she's just been living in this bubble that he's kind of like made for her out of like, you know, the kindness of his heart. He just wants to protect her, but she wants to like get out and live a little. Okay, so she goes across the pond. There's 3 boys when she thought it was going to be 3 girls that she ends up living with because she is just being a roommate in like an apartment in a city that she really wanted to be in. But the gist of it is that there's 3 guys instead of 3 girls that she's going to now be living with and going to college. And her dad doesn't know. So she's like keeping that secret from him. And now she has these 3 very attractive boys living with her, and you know, she's kind of got the hots for a few of them maybe, but I think if I remember, one of them's gay. Now I can't remember. Maybe he's bi, and so maybe he will also be a part of it. Do you ever have that where like you've listened to an audiobook or you read a book, but then you either had really terrible sleep or you just like I feel like it feels like so long ago that I listened to this when it was literally just last night. But I'm just like, what was like, why can't I remember anything? That's the gist of the book. I'm literally only on chapter 6. I will say my only like thoughts so far on possibly not liking it is that I am a very, very big fan, and I'm so curious if you guys are too, so comment below and let me know, like, what are your guys' deal breakers when it comes to like a romance trope? Because I will say I love a fated romance, and I love when it's one guy and one girl and they're just meant to be together. That is like my bread and butter. However that comes about, whether it's friends to lovers, enemies to lovers, I prefer enemies to lovers, but I'll also do a friends to lovers. Don't care. But if I feel like there's the main girl or whatever is being pulled in 2 different directions and like by 2 different boys, and she really doesn't know which one she likes best, that to me is like, I don't like that, because then it feels, the connection that she ends up choosing to me doesn't feel to me personally as strong, because I'm like, well, she could have just as easily chosen the other guy, you know? So that's kind of why, like, when it comes to that kind of thing, like if she's choosing between 2 boys and like there isn't an obvious answer at the end, that's gonna really be like detrimental to me liking the romance part of it, because I'm just like, I need that. I need it to be like, no, it was you all along. You know what I mean? And I feel like that stems from Twilight, where there was Jacob and Edward, but Bella was always clear. Bella was always clear that Edward was her man. You know what I mean? Like, even though Jacob loved her, like, she still knew, no, Edward is my guy. And she was like, I know I have some feelings for you, but I know they're not as strong as the ones I have for Edward. And that was awakening to me. That was like, I was like, this is it. This is love. And so I'm just like, I can't do anything other than that now. Anything less than that feels, I'm out. Absolutely not. I'm not into it. Like, I need it to be this strong, like, it was always you. So anyways, I'm hoping that that's kind of what plays out, is that maybe 2 guys are interested in her, but she is only super interested in one of them. And then even if she like gave the other guy a try, as long as in the story, in her head, she's like, you know, like, oh, but there's just something pulling me to the other guy. Like, I just don't feel as strongly about, like, I need that. I need it to be like, she is just pulled to this one man, and the other man, and that man is pulled to her. Anyways, that's how I'm feeling about that. So that was 24 hours of, well, not of straight reading, but like a 24-hour time period. And we finished 2 books and we started a new one. So I would say, honestly, I think between the 2 books that I finished, I maybe read like 300 to 400 pages total. So, I mean, it was fun. I feel like that's kind of the average. Whenever I spend an entire day reading, I feel like I get about 400 pages done. And I will say, so far, like, nothing has been as good as Better Than the Movies. And I'm so sad about that, because I have literally been craving it now. Like, I'm like, I need a Better Than the Movies again. So I'm almost gonna look up, I think it's Lynn Painter is the author of that one, Better Than the Movies. Do I need to go to the bookstore and buy everything by Lynn Painter? Do I need to buy all the books she's written? Because I need it. Like, I am craving it so hard. I'm like an addict with it. I literally, like, I'm just like I need a hit. I need a hit of that good, sweet, fun, light romance that has a heart. Like, it was just so good, you guys. And I don't even really like high schooler romances anymore, but that one did something to me. Oh, it was so good. Okay, anyways, I like how we didn't even read Better Than the Movies in this reading vlog, and I'm still talking about it. So there were at the very start, not of this reading vlog, but at the start of the August TBR, there were 6 books on it. We have finished 3 total, and we have 3 books left on the August TBR, and I've read 100 pages of one shot already. Not loving it, but I think we're gonna try to finish it this month still. Have not gotten to read any of this one at all, so At the Edge with You, haven't read any of it yet, but I want to. Hopefully get it done before the end of August. But again, if I don't, I'm just gonna throw it right back onto the to be read cart, and it will just get picked in another monthly TBR. And then we are on chapter 6 of Girl Abroad, and I think I definitely will end up getting this one at least for sure finished by the end of August, because I've already started it and I'm kind of like, why not? And it's good so far, so I don't really have any qualms about like, oh, I just don't really want to listen to it, or I don't want to read it. Like, it's fine so far. It's okay. I'm not in love with it. I will say that. It hasn't like swooped me in like Better Than the Movies did. Because when I tell you like Better Than the Movies, even by chapter 3, I was like, this is gonna be good. Like, strap me in. I am ready for this ride. I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.